The Converted Man here. Natural language is an issue that informal logic can't do anything about. We use different words in different ways. We use the same word in multiple ways. And so that presents a problem because you have to pin down the definition of the word before doing the debate itself. And then if they change the definition of the word that they're using, then that's equivocation. But it's important that we know what definition they're using in their debate. Now, it might be that I want to use the same word as you, and so we have to agree to assign numbers to the word so that the audience doesn't get confused, or maybe one of us is going to use a different word. Some words are non-ambiguous. They only can mean the one thing that they mean. There's a tautology about them, and so when you say that word, nobody is going to think that it is something else, at least if they're that native language speaker. But other words are ambiguous, and many of the words that we use during a debate can be rather ambiguous and sometimes vague or misleading, or there might be misunderstandings. And during the conversation between Aron and Kent Hovind, the word kind was thrown around an awful lot by Hovind, and Aron tried his very best to get Hovind to indicate, to show us an actual kind, he defined it. But the answer to that is, well, Kent doesn't have any example to give us. Interesting. So, the example of a starting kind would be the first in a series of animals that is not led up to by anything before it, so that God itself had to have created that specific animal. One example given was tigers. They each are different types of tigers, but in Hovind's mind, these are all the tiger kind in one way, and they could also be kind in a different way. So I suppose in Kent's mind that a tiger could have a common ancestor of a tiger, or it could be that all of the tigers that we see are all specially created around the same time or different times in the timeline. And so each tiger is its own dependent creation, or that all tigers have a common ancestor tiger. So whatever, it all fits together. It could be both. It's either. It's that or that. Or it could be something else. Why not? So the word kind is never really locked down. So with multiple meaning of the same word at the same time, this isn't a failure of natural language. This is a failure to pin down what the word actually means at all. For Kent, it is that all tigers are from the same tiger in the past, and or each tiger is its own special creation. And he doesn't know which. Whichever happens to align with the data that he will accept, that's fine. Aron asked again and again to be given a specific example of either of these kind. Show me the tiger that you would say that was specially created, or show me the starting tiger that you would say is specially created. Kent admitted that he didn't know, which means that he couldn't show the one specific tiger that made all the other tigers, or one of the tigers that is its own special creation. And I find that very telling, because the creationist always says that if you can't see it, then, that's faith. So by admitting that he doesn't know, he can't point to one. I mean, he's got all this research, so where's that one? He's got all these people that, look into all this, so we don't know that one, well, then you have faith. That's the same thing that is said when we say we don't know about any given topic. Oh, you have faith in this or that or whatever. So my conclusion is that the ambiguous nature of this word kind is a deliberate ploy to avoid actually giving any sort of evidence whatsoever. Not that the creationist has any evidence in the first place to present. Otherwise, they would have done so long ago and it would be considered science. So this is an interesting conversation between these two people because not just because of the science that you can learn from Aron along the way, but also you get to hear abuse of natural language by Kent. He tries very hard to be very quick and very condescending as he's doing it. He tries to demean his opponent and get them off guard and get them irritated and angry and upset, and quickly shift back to the talking points that he is good at. And abusing the word kind is one of many linguistic tricks that he uses. I wonder what other ones that you might have noticed. Let me know in the comments. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the abuse of the word kind here. It has no coherent definition from the creationists. Certainly doesn't mean anything that we would use it for. And that ambiguity, I would say, is completely deliberate. The fact is that Kant could not identify a special creation of any creature. They don't have it. They can't give us that example, which means it's based on faith. Whereas we can give plenty of examples of things that came before it, and we can keep going down that road. We have facts, and as long as we have facts and they have faith, we'll be right and they will be wrong.